You know, this is the time of year we kind of drag our feet at the end of winter. We want it to be spring. We know April sometimes is, nothing to write home about. So any kind of stretch of decent weather we can get where you can open the window and look outside and just enjoy. We're loving in Western New York, no doubt about it. All right, again, we'll look at that a little bit later for you. Listen, a cool musical concert is coming up at the Trelf on Saturday night. You want to go celebrate? It's the annual Lawyers for the Arts concert, which raises money for local arts groups here in Western New York. And we've got a few of the participants here. We've got Julie Ati Rogers, we have Jack Friedenberg, and we have Joey Nicastro, who all make up the band the Kensingtons, right?
Correct.
We are 3 of 7.
That's great. Now, guys, let me ask you, do you all work for the same firm?
No, we all work for different firms. I'm on my own. I have my own practice, Addy Law Firm. Jack.
I'm with Goldberg Segala in Buffalo.
And
I'm with the law firm Ramos and Ramos.
oh, wow. So you folks could actually see yourselves against each other sometime in court.
It's very conceivable, yes.
Wow.
I actually have several cases against Jack's firm.
Really? Oh, that's so interesting. But here we are, we put it all aside because we're raising money for charity. And not only that, but you get a great evening of music out of it, and you get to see these folks out of their lawyer clothes, and you see another whole side of your personality, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that I saw that the weather this weekend is not going to be as favorable as it's been, but it works out perfectly because the event is actually an all-day event at the 12th on Saturday.
Inside, no problem.
No one's going to be outside walking their dogs probably on Saturday. If it's rainy and cold, everyone can come to the Trelf instead.
This is great. Now, Jack, you've been in this every year for the last 6 years?
I have. We started out at Ani DeFranco's Babeville venue back 6 years ago. It was a very stormy winter night.
Yeah.
We barely had anybody in attendance. And over time it's grown. We've been at Sportsman's Tavern a couple years. We've been at the Trail for a couple years. And through the great efforts of many attorneys, especially Ken Africano, we've grown to a really formidable event.
And I'll tell you, there's about 11 bands at least performing in that all-day event.
That's correct.
And you as the Kensingtons, Joey, how long have you guys been together?
The Kensingtons, actually, we've been together for a few years. I believe I was the last addition. Jack is one of the founding fathers of the band. Julie's been in the band for a number of years. And it's a real big deal for us to be a part of the Trelf show. Now, keeping in mind, we're not actually going to be performing as the Kensingtons at the event because the event exclusively features attorneys who are musicians. But we will have 3 out of the 7 performing at the show, actually 4 out of the 7, and we're super pumped. We have a great selection of tunes for the event Saturday, and there's a number of fantastic bands with all different styles of music. We have a klezmer band, we have a full-out rock band, a jazz band.
Jazz band is great.
Yeah. And there's also an art auction. So, because we want to remember that we're raising money for charity here.
Correct.
And those are attorney artists as well.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we got to see another side of you folks.
Right. Last year, this event raised approximately $35,000.
That's wonderful.
And the Arts Services Institute takes the money and divides it into individual $1,000 grants, and they are distributed across, in last year's event, 35 different local cultural and arts organizations.
That's incredible. How many pieces of art do you think will be here? Because again, you've got all day to come on in and place a bid.
Probably several dozen pieces. I mean, it was a very healthy selection of artwork last year, and the artists are just fantastic. It's very high quality work, as well as the music, which is what's really great about the event.
All right, now let's talk about the Kensington's music. What kind of music do you do?
We do a selection of 60s and 70s pop and rock,
Oh,
a
you're
lot
talking
of
my language.
British invasion music. We do a lot of contemporary artists as well that are aligned with the kind of sounds. I think you would call us acoustic Americana in one sense, country rock in another sense, 60s rock.
Stuff that you can tap your foot to and sing along to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're all very well accomplished musicians. Jack's been playing piano since he was 6 years old. Julie's been singing her whole life. I've been playing guitar since I was 5 years old. So we like to do a lot of really fun stuff live. For example, I like to shred on the guitar every second I can. Julie belts, like a machine, and Jack just tickles the ivories like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Joe had an opportunity before he went to law school to open for Paul McCartney.
No.
I did. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, I was in a band called More Than Me for 12 years. 2010, we won an international contest. The grand prize was to open up for Paul McCartney in Hyde Park, and My old band did that. We played for 50,000
Seems like
people.
he'd be a nice man.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to actually try to reach out to Paul and see if he'll come Saturday.
Oh well, sure. I mean, why not? I'm sure he might be available. You know, he might be here. Who knows? We want everybody to know tickets only $22, and you can get them at the door or you can get them by phone. Okay, and it is at the Tralf. It's their 6th anniversary celebration, and it's just going straight. Now, listen, everybody, we want to continue all this, and we're going to hear from these guys. You want to hear how they sound? Kensingtons are going to perform for us in just a few minutes. So remember, this event is Saturday, Lawyers for the Arts, their 6th anniversary and charity fundraiser at the Tralf from 1:30 to 6. So go and have a great time and be listening for some of their music coming up next.